Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I really wanted to share some rituals and some practices I do around the new moon. During these new moons that we have every single month, the energy calls us to expand. It calls us to grow. It calls us to really figure out what in our lives we're ready to call it, where we're ready to focus our energy. So while full moons represent the releasing part and letting go, deciding what's no longer serving you on your highest timeline, new moons bring in this energy of renewal, of fresh starts, calling in those manifestations and those desires. So if we can learn to use this energy, this is very powerful because during this time, there's less resistance. The energies are supporting your goals and they're supporting your dreams. So this is a very powerful time to set those new intentions, decide where you want to be in your life. So in today's video, I wanted to guide you through some really intentional rituals that you can do around this time to really take advantage of the new moon's energy. So let's get into the rituals. So something that I really recommend everybody do on or around a new moon is to clean out your physical space. So our physical space is a direct reflection of our internal state. When you clean out your space and you make everything neater, you put things away, you declutter, you get rid of the things that you don't need anymore, you're able to show up in your life from this lighter energy. Cleaning out your physical space sends out this signal that you're stepping into this fresh energy. It's a physical manifestation of this work that we're doing on the new moon, of releasing the old and welcoming in the new, deciding what energy we want to embody in our lives. So romanticize this process, light some incense, make everything fresh and renewed. Step into the new moon energy from this fresh space. Something else I love to do around the new moon is to receive a message from the divine. So around new moons, I really love to just gain some clarity on what I should be focusing my energy on. If there's something specific I should be calling into my life or focusing on. So the card that I pulled today was the wood element. This card represents growth. It represents renewal, support. And for me, this card also really represented balance. It represented balance between the physical world and the spiritual world and how we have to balance these two energies, because the tree is really seen as this bridge between the spiritual and the physical world. Its roots root down into the earth, but it also has these beautiful branches that are coming out towards the sky. So it represents having this beautiful balance, not being in too much of one energy. Something else that I really love to do on a new moon is to drink ceremonial cacao. So cacao is this beautiful, gentle plant medicine that helps us open our hearts and helps us connect back to our inner wisdom, receive some answers in our lives, some clarity. So today I just made some cacao with some rose water, and I'm gonna take it out into nature and drink it intentionally. So the next thing that I really love to do on a new moon is connect back to nature. So here I'm gonna do my cacao ceremony, I'm gonna do some journaling, some somatic work, and really just connect to the earth and the earth's energy. So I always love to set an intention with cacao because cacao holds the spirit, and it's really important to connect to the spirit of cacao in order to receive that wisdom and that clarity. So I always start by offering some gratitude to the cacao and the land from where the cacao came from, and then I'll set my intentions with the cacao and really just drink it mindfully while connecting to nature and just listening to the sounds of nature. I then will set my new moon intentions. So I always love to start by offering some gratitude for the things that are already present in my life. So all of the things that I'm grateful for. And in my letter, I thank God and I thank the universe and my spirit guides and the divine. I don't have one specific energy that I really believe in, but I believe that I have this team of energies watching over me. So I always thank them for the guidance they've given me and even some of the negative experiences, because I believe that those are serving me as well. The next thing that I will do is some somatic healing practices. So we store energy and tension in our body, and it's important that we pay attention to that and move it out of our bodies. So as a breathwork facilitator, I would normally just do a breathwork session, but since I was also on my period, I just opted for some gentle body shakes and vocal releases. I also had to connect with this beautiful tree behind me because I pulled the wood card. So I sat on the tree and just allowed the tree's energy to cleanse me. This little ritual that I love to do on a new moon is to take a spiritual cleansing bath. You can also do this in the shower, but I really love to do it in the bath and really make it romantic with candles and crystals. I'll always infuse the bath with some herbs. So today I did rose and calendula, which is really good for the skin and invites in that loving energy, that feminine energy. I'll also turn off all the lights just to really romanticize this bath, and while I'm in the bath, I'll really imagine that the water's cleansing my energy, allowing any negative energies to leave to invite in a new energy. The next thing that I'll do is refresh my altar. My altar is my spiritual space. So just like we have a desk for working and a bed for sleeping, an altar is a place where I do all of my spiritual work. So I started by really clearing out my altar, then I'm just refreshing it. So I start by adding the 4 elements. So the flowers represent earth, the feather represents air, the candle is representing the fire, the water is represented by the water inside the vase and also some spiritual sprays. And then I'm just adding the rest of the spiritual tools that I like. Crystals, sound shakers, the card that I pulled this morning. So the next thing that I'll do is I'll charge my intentions on my spiritual altar. So I'll write out my intentions for the new moon and then I'll put it on this space. This is where my intentions can really be charged and I can feed those intentions every day as I come back to this space. Another thing that I'll do is I'll charge my jewelry with my intentions. So I'll lay out my jewelry on the altar and really allow it to just be infused with the energy that I'm creating. So I'll light the candles on my altar and really just allow the jewelry to infuse there and to charge with the energy that I'm creating, so that when I wear that jewelry, I'm stepping into those intentions. So that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video on ways to step into that new moon's energy and really work with the new moon. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to this channel for more content like this.